Hello, my name is Sebastian, and this is my code for assignment 1. I have my 3 main files right here. I got difficulty, math session, and math wizard test. Starting with difficulty, this one's pretty short, just an enum that defines my fixed set of options that I use throughout the code. So easy, medium, and hard. Moving on to math session, this is the main class where most of the logic happens. At the top right here, I have my static fields, total questions asked, and total correct answers. And I made them static specifically because I wanted them to track every single student session and not just one. So if Alice answers a question and Bob answers another question, they're both updating the same counter instead of just each student having their own counter. Right below it, I have my instance variables. I got student name, score, level, and random. And these aren't static because I want every student to have their own separate version of these. So if Alice has one score, that has nothing to do with the score that Bob has, and vice versa. And then right down here I have my constructor, and all this does is that it just creates the new student sessions, or that's where they get set up. It takes in the student name and a level, and then these are my two methods for generating questions. I got the first version, which is the student difficulty level to decide the number range. So if it's on easy, it will generate a number between 1 and 10. If it's on medium, it will be between 1 and 50, and hard can go all the way up to 1,000. And it uses the if-else chain right here to figure out what range to use, and it will generate two random numbers, and then it will print the question and return the correct answer. And then the second version just ignores the difficulty entirely and just uses whatever range you pass in. So if you call it with 100, for example, it'll generate numbers anywhere between 1 and 100. And that's for the custom challenge mode. And then moving down here to process answer, this is just nothing too crazy. It's pretty straightforward. It just takes the user's answer and correct answer, and just compares them. If they match, it prints correct. It adds 1 to the student's personal score, and it adds 1 to the global counter as well. And if they don't match, it will print incorrect. And then where is it? Print global stacks is just a static method. I made it static because I only needed to access the static fields. And then moving on to math wizard test. This is the driver class, so this is where the program actually starts. And I created a session for Alice with easy difficulty and a session for Bob with medium. Alice gets the regular no argument generate questions, so her numbers are based on her difficulty level. And then Bob gets the overloaded version with a range of 100 for the custom challenge mode. After each question gets generated, I read in the user's answer with scanner and pass it to process answer. And then at the very end, I call the math session print global stats to show the combined totals from both sessions. So then if I hit run right here, I can see that that's 2 plus 8, and it runs. So I'm going to do 10. And then for this, I'm just going to type random number, and it's going to show incorrect. And then right down here prints the global stats. So total questions generated 2, total correct answers 1. And yeah.